Welcome back to Keys to the PNW, the show where we unlock the stories, the people, and the hidden gems that make life in the upper left truly special. I'm your host, Donna Musin, and today's guest is someone who doesn't just show up to a neighborhood. He completely changes the temperature of the block. What if you could find a ritual that's deeper, spicier, and rooted in 1,000 years of tradition, all while keeping that modern Northwest hustle? My guest today has taken a personal passion for authentic flavors and scaled it from a grassroots movement to a full-blown experience of staying fly. He's the visionary force behind Fly Chai, a brand that's taking the West Side by storm and is known for serving up the boldest, most soulful masala chai you can find in the region. He isn't just brewing tea, he's brewing connection, bringing people together, and proving that the way to wake up in the PNW is with a little bit of spice and a whole lot of heart. Neil, the man himself, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much for the warm introduction, Donna. I appreciate it, and I'm super happy to be on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for agreeing to join me here on Keys to the PNW. So, Neil, you're the founder of Fly Chai in Beaverton. I am not going to try and pronounce your last name. I will let you share that with anyone listening in. Go right ahead.
It's Neil Butnagar.
Okay, very good. It's a complex last name, and I think that actually matches the complex flavors in your chai. But so you have a fascinating background that bridges high-level corporate hospitality, think hotels, health systems, that kind of vibe, with deep-rooted cultural heritage. Tell us more about you and how you made it to where you are now.
Yeah, I'm happy to share that. It's a long story. I've always had a passion, starting from day one with growing up in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, specifically with my parents came to America when they were 22, 23. So there was a lot of heritage that came on when they came on to America. And one thing that I realized growing up was just the amount of people and the community together of people coming together. And I end up going through the gamut, got my degree in hospitality, worked in hotels, restaurants, casinos, and then I end up going into healthcare. I end up owning my own, partnering with some restaurants in Northern California, managing those, and then eventually selling and then moving into healthcare for the past 15 years. That was something I was really, really passionate about doing, is really helping people, having a sense of purpose, as I was managing a lot of the non-clinical services outside of what the doctors, physicians, and nurses were doing. So I was really focused on the experience for multiple hospitals, and I love doing it. I ended up finding something else from a passion standpoint in regard to chai when I went to my cousin's wedding last August. So getting to the point of how I got to where I am at now, having going through all the hospitality, going through my cousin's wedding in Tampa, one thing that I'll talk about with tradition and the heritage is chai is something where people come together on every meal period, before, after, during. In South Asian households, or even other households across the world, tea is drank throughout the day, not just in the morning or in the PM. It's something that you do every day, and it's a way for people to come together. So it's like when you go to a restaurant, someone gives you a glass of water. More in a traditional South Asian household, when you go to someone's house, they're going to give you a cup of tea. And that's where the whole experience of my first taste of chai came along, where every time there'd be someone coming to our house, there'd be chai on the pot made with my mom's ingredients, and having the fresh made spices, the smells in the house, people coming together. That was something that was always there. So getting to the point of going to my cousin's wedding last August, I noticed and I forgot about the coming together piece of having tea. So ended up finding a location in downtown Beaverton, super excited about it, and end up launching Fly Chai. End up getting the keys November 1st, and I opened up November 22nd of last year.
Wow. Wow. I know you just celebrated your 3-month anniversary just a few days ago. So, congratulations on that. So, it sounds like you've been in training to do this for a long time. And I love that you mentioned that you kind of had forgotten about the coming together part. Like it's always been a part of your ancestry and your history, but it sounds like life kind of got in the way of that coming together part. And hey, as a Beavertonian, I am excited that you had that pivotal epiphany that said, "Oh, this is what my passion is, and this is what I'm going to be sharing with all the folks in the community." Because I think we're better for it, thanks to you. So that's pretty amazing. So it sounds like it's a memory of home as well.
Yes, I would say it's definitely home. It's very nostalgic. And knowing the nostalgia, there's folks like me that have grew up in a household, generation, having that experience and having the Parley G biscuits or having the smell of fresh chai or cardamom in the air or cinnamon. Those little pieces is what I wanted to really put on the forefront. And also, when you do go into our location, your senses are hit in every level. That's the goal, is experience. So when you comes out from starting out, walking into the door, you see the lights from the disco lights that are up on above on the ceiling. You see all the colors of the different panels. You have the smell of cinnamon and cardamom in the air because we're grinding all of our spices in house. You see we serve all of our drinks in hot cups, clay terracotta traditional cups, so you have that warmth feel. Those are the pieces. And then we have some hip hop music or a little different types of music playing to create a vibe depending on what you're feeling. And then we have the fly loft upstairs that you can just hang out, whether it's by yourself, with people, friends, family, colleagues, whoever. You can come together and just share a cup of chai together. And that's really the goal of Fly Chai, is being able to create those moments where people can sit down, relax, or chop it up and have have a drink together and just not worry about anything in the world.
So, you mentioned the vibrancy of your place. Now, if for anyone listening, on the cover art, you'll see Fly Chai's logo. That logo is just a teensy tiny little crumb of the energy that you feel when you walk into Fly Chai in Beaverton. By the way, if you're listening and you're in the area, it's right off of Farmington Road. I don't know the cross street. Do you happen to know
It's
the
what
cross street?
it's Washington
Washington and
in downtown.
Farmington, and there's lots of parking around the area. He even has a few parking spots in his lot, like, that's unheard of in Beaverton, but you walk in, and it is an entire vibe, and that's a good thing. The energy that you feel when you walk in isn't like, and I'm not gonna be bagging on all the little other shops that do hot beverages, but when you walk into a lot of those other shops, you feel like you're entering the Gap in 1990. Everything is beige and brown and maybe a few hints of green. Um, and I'm not singling out anyone. A lot of them are like that. When you walk into Fly Chai, you cannot help but smile. And if you don't immediately breathe in, kind of get that whole feeling of the place. Like it is a whole vibe from the senses, from the smells, from the energy, from the music. But with that said, even a place you could have a little business meeting, and it's, perfectly suited for something like that. You're not gonna fall asleep in the place, and I love that about it. Now, so getting back, I mean, like, what you're working in all these more corporate arenas, right? And doing really heavy food service work, all of that. Did you always have an idea that you wanted to start your own thing?
Yeah, that's a really, really great question and something that I really could never find what my purpose was. I've been following, food is always, because of my mom, and just a quick plug. The heritage recipe is my mom's recipe. So
Mm,
I really wanted to showcase that from a standpoint of there's no set recipe that anyone has. It's just like your Italian neighborhoods where any place you go to, they have a different recipe. So this
mhm,
one's specific to my mom, in her area, and it's kind of very unique from a standpoint. My mom is from Bombay, southern part of India, and my dad's from upper part of India in Baroda. And to have like a flavor fusion from some of those areas where some of it could be tea heavy or cardamom heavy, all these different items, it's very unique on that experience, and that's what one of the things that I wanted to showcase and really be able to put the heritage meets hype out there. Um, to answer your question, yes, I have thought of so many ideas on so many thoughts of open my own business, whether it was a franchise, whether it was an existing business, something that was there. I always felt like I needed some sort of ownership from a standpoint where I can manage my growth or manage some of the decision makings, but more importantly, manage the culture.
yeah,
And that was something that really drew me in. And really, I went down a rabbit hole when I talked about Fly Chai, because I've thought about opening my own pizza joint with my
mhm,
son. I've been thinking about, because I love pizza, being from Chicagoland. I make everything from scratch, blah blah blah. But
yeah,
I wanted to do something, and really, chai came out to be. I just went through a rabbit hole where I didn't know about certain things, and it made me go back and learn about it and just be like, wow, this is amazing. So, for example, Jaggery. Jaggery is it's an unrefined sugar cane, where
mhm,
basically that is the cleanest form of any type of sweetener. So it comes in big balls, big blocks that have minerals, different type of pure sweetness, but it's not as sweet as regular sugar. It's not white. It looks like brown sugar. And that's where we make our syrup from, is we take one of these
okay,
big balls of jaggery. In Hindi, it's called gur or good, Gud. I can't not make a marketing play on that from a standpoint of just
right,
it's good energy, right? So it's like you're getting you're getting something super clean. We're making it into a syrup that's more healthy or better for you from a standpoint of sweetness, from using an artificial sweetener or something else, and we're adding a little sea salt. Sea salt cuts any type of sweetness
mhm,
as well as cuts any bitterness out. So you're getting a better tasting drink. Similar, and no knock on some of the larger, the big boxes like your
yeah,
Starbucks and your Dutch Bros and your Pete's and all these other mom and pop, even some of the mom and pop shops, they use a concentrate that's already pre-made, that's been on the shelf, or maybe it was made fresh as well, but it's very, very sweet,
yeah,
and that's not chai. And that's the thing from my standpoint. Growing up, my chai was not sweet. It was just a little bit of sweetness, a little hint, but you can really taste the fresh ginger, the fresh mint. You get a lot of the flavor of the masala with the cardamom, the clove, the cinnamon. All those pieces are that create that experience. It's not overwhelmed by sugar where I can only pound one drink and I'm in a sugar rush. I'm having the
yeah,
time of my life, but then I come down really, really hard, and I'm not utilizing anything that's fake. So that was one thing. Like I just from a standpoint, and I'm kind of just going off, but from a standpoint, is,
No, that's why I'm having you here.
well,
It's time to go off, so you
yeah.
go.
So, fly chai is based on three things, and that is truly the values of fly chai is educating people on real chai, having the real experience, the ritual of chai, brewing it at home, making it for yourself, for your loved ones, for anyone, utilizing fresh ingredients, having the wellness standpoint. That's the second part. Having something that's good for you that you have on a regular basis. You can have it decaffeinated if you would want. If you don't want to have the caffeine, you don't have to put any sweetener in there. It still tastes
Mhm.
excellent. And then you have different types of spices, your turmerics, your that anti-inflammatories. You have the fresh ginger that, is good for stress relief. Things
Yeah.
that will are good.
So many health
Yeah,
benefits
so
from
many.
the ingredients. So when you walk into his shop, when you first walk in, you walk in the doors, and if you look straight ahead and slightly up, you're gonna see a wall with all kinds of ingredients listed. Each one of those ingredients has a medicinal health aspect to it. It's not just, white sugar being poured out of a shaker. And that's really, really awesome that, you can have something that you really enjoy that feels like a treat, but that also has a positive impact on the body. That's it's hard to find that where something still feels like a treat. I mean, I like broccoli a lot, but it's not a treat. And I'm sorry for anyone listening, an apple is not dessert. An apple is yummy, but it doesn't fit that dessert vibe. These chais, even without all the sugar and all the things, have that warm dessert vibe to them, but without being over the top sweet. I love that about your product.
Thank
You
you so
know?
much.
A milkshake is good, but there's a time and a place for a milkshake, and it
Yeah,
isn't usually at, like, 10 in the morning, unless that's your jam.
yeah,
I'm not shaming on yucking on your yum, but, I love that the health aspect, so you can really enjoy something and it can have a positive impact, right?
totally. And
Yep.
and and just to put a plug in there as well, you hit something right on the head. For my background working in large hospital systems, you want people to make a choice. So the a couple things that we do, or one of the major things we do, is we can customize your chai in exactly the way you want it. So sweetness level, spice level, whole milk, pistachio milk, or even oat milk is what we have available. Fresh botanicals, like I mentioned, mint, lemongrass, and ginger. All those pieces, hot, cold, but also on our menu, we do serve food. So we're not only just a chai or a tea house. And by the way, anyone listening to this, do not call chai tea or tea chai together. You're saying tea tea. You want it's either chai or it's tea. So it's no chai tea. Chai means tea, tea means chai.
So
I
we
love
can save time and energy. Just
yeah,
say chai.
the same chai. I love it. I love it. But we also have things that are super nostalgic to someone that grew up in a South Asian heritage, specifically gulab jamun, which is a sweet donut piece that's in rose syrup or rose essence.
Mm.
That we serve that with Tillamook ice cream. I really wanted to put out Tillamook ice cream because it's the best ice cream. We have a vanilla and a mudslide. We also
Okay,
have bun.
Tillamook Creamery, you need to sponsor Fly Chai somehow.
Please, please. I'm in love with you guys.
I grew up going down to the cheese factory,
Oh yeah.
well before they even had ice cream, and so
Wow.
that was a big thing when they came out with ice cream for the first time. Yeah,
Wow. Well, they nailed it, and their cheese is outstanding as well.
yeah.
Uh, and then also we do have like the Parley G cookies that are like tea biscuits and hide and seek cookies, and then we have cake rusks, which are little biscotti pieces, and then we have something called bun mascas, which they're buns, brioche buns that are popular in Iranian cafes, but they're very, very popular in Bombay in the tea culture or in the chai culture over there. So I wanted to bring them out here. And what they are is basically a bun with bread, and they're either sweet or savory. So our top two items that we have is a rose pistachio and a cheese and chutney for more of a savory item. And I wanted that was
I've
my
seen
whole
photos of those, and I haven't had them yet. I just tried your cake rusts,
yeah.
and I like biscotti, but I like that these I don't worry about busting a tooth on them. You know?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
those were really good and not overly sweet. They were pretty amazing, and thank you for sharing those with me because, you know, I didn't know what I didn't know. Now I have to make sure I don't come too often because that could be a bad thing. I wonder if it's okay if I, eat those while I'm on my Peloton. I mean, you know,
Totally. Totally. Totally.
it's an energy
Yeah.
source,
Don't let it fall in though. That's the one thing you gotta be
right?
careful.
They're so good. I've also had some of your savory treats. I had your samosas
Mhm.
with the mint chutney.
Yeah.
Is that right? Those are stinking addicting. And whatever you put in that mint chutney, I don't know. That is something that might end up being illegal in Beaverton. We might have to talk to Stacy at the BPD and say, "Are we sure this is legal?" Because it is that they are that good. They are crave worthy.
Thank you. Yeah, the mint chutney is definitely something that's very unique. Not unique in the Asian American culture or South Asian culture, but having that mint, thinking about a mint being spicy and have coriander and lime juice and different types, it definitely hits. And that's the same chutney you use on the cheese and chutney too. And then we add a little bit of chaat masala on there too, which is like a Indian street food spice.
Oh, so good, so good. So, it sounds like Chicago taught you how to be tough, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
totally.
I've only been through the Chicago airport. I've not actually spent time in Chicago, so I don't know what I'm talking about there. But the PNW, I know it's been said that the Pacific Northwest teaches people to be intentional. And it sounds like you've been very intentional with Fly Chai, all the way from, using your mom's recipe right on out to your choices on even the ice cream for the treat. You've been very intentional. This isn't just by accident that you've decided on these things. It's all part of the plan, right? And when there's vulnerability in sharing family recipes. You're sharing your memories with the public by sharing that recipe for chai. That though warms my heart. I love going to businesses and I like supporting businesses that there's more than just the product.
Mhm.
And your whole thing is the product is amazing, but there's so much more behind the product. And so many people I talk to on this podcast, that's why I talk to them is there's so much behind it. So what was going through your head that opening day when you handed a cup of your chai to a stranger at the counter? Like that first day that you opened, what was going on inside Neil's head?
So there that's one that I definitely felt it. Uh so we got keys, like I mentioned, November 1st. And my goal, I've done a lot of transitions in my life, meaning transitions from one operation moving to another. A lot of my previous life was optimizing businesses or figuring out ways to make patients have a better experience, whether it was with food service, environmental services, patient transport, whatever that case may be. I always kind of followed a plan, and owning your own business and create your own concept. I was a franchisee for another restaurant growing up. Um, I felt when I first did that first and foremost, I wanted to open up in 1 week. That was my goal. When I tell people I like
What?
how when I tell yeah I tell people when I tell people hey, my goal was to open up November 7th. I only needed 1 week because that's how I've done it in the past is I've been able to flip a full food service operation of a hospital in 1 or 2 days, from
Do
a
you sleep?
standpoint for menu.
I mean,
I do, not a lot. I sleep, I sleep when I can, but more,
you're an entrepreneur. You don't
yeah,
sleep.
yeah,
Not
very,
really.
no, no. But my big thing was processes. So
Yeah.
really, really, what was really cool is the first time I sold that, I'm like, wow, I did it. Meaning I've had a lot of people, friends, family, people support. I did not market it. I didn't market opening Fly Chai. Like the city of Beaverton, I didn't even think they knew I was opening up. I kind of just went for the run, right? I'm like, I got the shop. I need to start up the business. I'm still paying rent or paying my lease. I need to get ahead of it. And what I wanted to do was sell the chai. And then obviously through that time frame, a lot of people through businesses, they'll wait for the perfect moment, right? You'll wait for
Hmm.
the perfect moment. Oh, I can open this up in 3 months or open this 2 months. I could have easily said that, but
Hmm.
my mindset was set. Hey, I'm gonna I'm gonna launch this as fast as I can, and I'll figure it out on the way. My whole life has been just I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. It's that's where I came to the conclusion or from a standpoint, and then it just everything just kind of started falling in place. Right. And that just comes with my mantra has always been think positive, you're going to be positive. So if like my mantra, no negativity, nothing around me that's negative, friends, family, anything, I want positive vibes only. And
Hmm.
that's really how it came down. My POS system wasn't working when I sold my first chai. And I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? This is not working. My internet's not on. The first couple people, I think they end up getting free chais, but it was the whole piece where I like you saying like you're strong. I think you just kind of have to have that grit. Just like
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure it out. Let me get punched in the face a couple times. Let people, feel what they want to feel. I'm just gonna give it 110 and be completely passionate about it. And that's literally how I've been able to, go from, selling a couple cups a day to, you know, to where I'm at now, where I'm close to 100 cups a day, which is awesome. Um, because I have a large space and I have an upstairs, my lease is a little higher than other locations. Plus, being in downtown Beaverton, but I wasn't looking at it for the money piece.
Yeah.
I was never focused on the money piece. It was exactly the mentality of I'll figure it out. And then things start coming and then you build those relationships and then you look at other ways to generate revenue. But while you're generating revenue, you're creating what your purpose is by creating an experience for other people. And that's what goes to my next part now is like I'm really right now, I've been open for 3 months. Part of my 3 month plan is okay, launch product to be sold online within 3 months. Done. Now, number
Okay.
two is within 6 months, I got to be able to promote online ordering for people to create the experience at home, have that experience, get some merch to be able to promote the brand from a standpoint where people are just following a movement, right? Of
Yeah.
people coming together, right?
Yep.
And then I want to focus on doing the farmers markets over the summertime. Get the farmers markets going, sell the products there. Because I have a parking lot down, I want to be able to have small businesses come in during the summertime and do
Oh,
a pop up, right?
exactly.
They don't have to pay me. I don't need any money, but I want to be able to share the aspect of business community coming together, share something that someone has that they're selling, that they're passionate about, and being able to do that. And that's literally that's the third part of Fly Chai is like the community. How do I bring people up?
Collaboration, that
Be-
spirit of collaboration.
that's it. That's it.
And
Business is
that's
doing
really
business.
big in Beaverton.
Yep.
So, I know other businesses. I know that Carrie with Roasted by Mom
Yep.
Coffee collaborated with Ryan over at Lazy Days
Yeah.
to do something. I know that Like and Tea is collaborating with Urban River Spirits for a
Yep.
special,
Yep.
non-alcoholic cocktail. And honestly, if you haven't connected with Michelle and Jackie yet, you need to.
I
I
will.
need to connect you
Yep.
guys because the vibe is there. You guys would totally mesh and you could do a collab of some kind. I've seen you collaborate with a pie maker in the area and I
Yep.
don't remember her name,
Yeah.
but
Just
I'm like,
Point.
dude,
Yeah.
how did I miss that? I
Yeah.
saw it on Instagram. And collaboration, I think, I mean, Pacific Northwest, I know it's not just unique to us, but I'm going to say it's very unique to the Pacific Northwest to want to, and I've talked about this on other episodes where, you know, high waters raise all boats. They're
Mhm.
not competition. There's somebody you can connect with. And when you collaborate, you're raising all boats and you're highlighting other people. I think that kind of energy comes back. If you're just like hiding everything and like, oh no, this is my zone, and I'm afraid of competition, or I'm afraid of this, or what if they don't like me, or they'll like them better. I think you're closing yourself off to amazing opportunity,
Totally.
not just financial opportunity, but also just that opportunity for the soul. Entrepreneurs, I think, at least the ones with a lot of passion, aren't just starting things just to make money. I mean, we got to keep our bills
Of
paid. We
course.
got to
Of
keep the
course.
lights on, of course. And we'd like to maybe retire someday or
Yeah.
leave a legacy.
Yeah.
But if that were the sole reason, because it is so hard to be an entrepreneur and to start businesses, and a lot of businesses don't make it, especially in the food and beverage industry, don't
Mhm.
make it past what, 5 years?
5 years.
Taking a huge chance and a huge risk. But I think when you're willing to collaborate and you're open to opportunities and you're excited about not just your product, but other people, it really brings an energy that can really start to build that legacy.
Yeah.
And I have East Coast friends. I have a particular friend who's from New York who says, we're too soft and nice here. And I said, yeah, well, you're here now and you're now soft and nice. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
with a little sass.
Yeah.
I know I've met more people from the Chicago area in the last 5 years than, I mean, I didn't, maybe they've always been here, but apparently Chicago likes to come to Oregon, and I'm all
Yeah.
for that, but even the hardcore Chicagoans get soft over here in the Pacific Northwest, and they start to act like us. And I love
I
that.
love it. I
You
love it.
totally act like us, Neil. You're part of
Oh
the
yeah.
fabric
Oh
now.
yeah.
There's no Even if you left, you can never get rid of
Never.
that fabric.
Never. Never
And
leave it.
and I would totally buy a t-shirt if you had them. So, Fly Chai is just such an energy that it's just undeniable. But I love the e-commerce aspect because people who can't make it over here, even though we'd love everybody to just come beat down your door, they can still have a piece of that energy at home in the Midwest. Like, can they go and buy that yet?
Yes.
They
So
can.
yeah, on our website, flychai.co, there is a shop button. And if you hit the shop button, they can actually buy the ritual for home. So there's teapots they can buy. There's the clay cups, our signature clay cups they have with the Fly Chai logo on there. And then also our package, three items, our three spice levels, or our three different masala blends, our heritage, which is my mom's blend, that's cardamom forward, the golden, which is turmeric forward, and the fire starter, which is very popular. It's cayenne pepper or red pepper forward. That has a little spice. I was very surprised about the fire starter on how many folks really, really enjoy that chai. It definitely has a bite to it, but it's a very unique flavor, and I'm excited to share it.
I have not had that yet. I've had your original, and I did customize it because I was afraid when I first tried it that it would be too sweet like the other chais I've had. But
Mhm.
those come from a concentrate that is very popular among coffee shops and such. But I didn't know all this when I had my first cup,
Mhm.
right? So they knocked down the sweetness quite a bit for me. I loved it. I drink tea without sweetener all the time. I'd rather have cheese than sugar. So,
Yeah,
I make trade-offs. So,
me and you.
but it was amazing. So then the second time I came in and got a drink, it was the cocoa. And again, I was a little
Oh,
nervous that it would be chocolate chai. I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
what
chocolate. Yeah, it's a chocolate good chai. Yep, we use fresh
chocolate good chai.
cocoa. Yeah,
It didn't I was afraid it would be too chocolate, hot cocoa-ish, right? Not at all. That was addicting, but without all that extra sweetness. It was like, I don't know, it's hard to put into words that marriage between the cocoa and the spices, like, it was
Yeah.
dang good, and, yeah, dang good, and, I can't even like, words can't express. So, those are the only 2 I've tried so far. I've had you more than that many times, but those are the only 2 I've ventured out, and I've seen all kinds being made. I've seen matcha coming
Yeah.
across the bar. That's incredible. I'm a matcha fan. I Oregon is a little matcha-ish,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, there's people who are like, "Matcha is like eating grass." It's like, "Yeah, so what's your point?" I love it. It's very Portland, matcha it's everywhere, but Portland has adopted matcha, I think,
Mhm.
just as they've adopted coffee and beer.
Yeah.
So, now we need to get them to adopt chai.
That's the goal.
Come visit you and take it home so you don't have to wait till he's open to get it, right? That's amazing. I love the cups too. Tell me about the cups. That's a traditional cup that people drink chai in?
Yeah. So it's a very unique story from the streets of India and some smaller locations. So in India, pretty much all over, and South Asia in general, there's chaiwalas, and chaiwalas are street vendors that specifically sell chai that they make right there for you,
Oh,
from a standpoint of, they have milk that's in a bag. They have water. I'm not sure, but they put the tea in there, they put the masala in there, and they put the sugar in there, and they make it for you right there. They boil it, they do the tea, and they pour it, and you get to have a little glass of tea. Sometimes you'll see that they have a small clear glass. It's usually 5 to 6 ounces, but traditionally, how it's served is in these little small clay cups, that are made with terracotta, and the tradition behind it is you would get them like a sample cup, 4 to 6 ounces. They would put the chai in there. It's pretty. It's not like the chai lattes you get here.
mhm.
It's more tea driven, a lot more tea. And it's like taking a boost, a quick espresso shot, but it has the sweetness, all the pieces there. And then once they're done with that little piece, they throw it on the ground, get smashed up, and then it gets rebuilt to another cup. So they're
Oh,
constantly making cups. My piece is from
please don't
uh
throw
yeah,
Neil's cups on the floor
yeah,
when you're
don't
done.
do that. You can buy your own and do it at your house. I'm
Yeah,
down with that, but don't do it at my spot,
yeah.
please, for safety reasons only. I love to see things break. I did it. I only broke 2 glasses. That's it. So far in 3 months.
That's
But
not
when I did,
bad.
it was pretty hilarious. I took a picture and everything. I wanted to frame it. But what the concern is, and I would love to do it in that kind of fashion, but when it comes down to safety,
Yeah,
sanitation,
yeah.
manufacturing, I use a clay cup that it does not have lead. It's certified agriculture, approved. And then it's a 12-ounce cup. So I want people to have that whole experience. And what's really cool about those clay cups is terracotta retain, and the inside's glazed, and
Mhm.
the rim is rigid where you can actually pick it up. So it can be super hot. The cup can be super hot. You just need to pick it up by the lip that's
Yep.
not hot. And then that's how you can carry it. And that's the one thing with fly chai is one of my slogans is "Be fly, sip chai." Chai is supposed to be served very, very hot. It comes from a boiling pot that usually has the milk curds that go on the top, the skin on the milk. And we don't get it to that point. But we're like pretty much 99% there, to the heat level, because the skin can be kind of some people are not fans of it and whatnot, from milk fat and whatnot, but
Sure.
we can create that experience with the cup. And what's really cool, it stays hot.
Mhm.
And if you're cold, especially like nowadays, right now in the Pacific Northwest, it's cold. It's
Oh, and you
raining.
can wrap your hands around
There
that
it is.
cup and just not only does it warm your tummy, it warms your heart, your hands, the whole thing. It's yeah, it's a fun experience. So, if you haven't been to Fly Chai, and you're in the area, take a trip out. You're open every day, aren't you? You're not one of those businesses that closes on Mondays and Tuesdays.
No, Monday through Sunday, 9 to 9.
Yeah, those are some great hours. It's a great place to meet friends. It's a great place to conduct a business meeting as long as you don't need it to be a huge formal setting. I think it's a really comfortable setting and it's an energized setting and there's plenty of space to do that. So it's kind of nice. I love the spot. So, you're filling everyone's cup. By the way, I'm gonna try that spicy one the next one, and that
There you
might
go.
be today or tomorrow. So,
I love it.
after I record this, I might get in the car and head on over there. But you're always refilling everyone's cup, figuratively and otherwise, right? How do you refill your own? Like, what do you do to find peace in the midst of all the hustle? Because I know, especially the first several months of opening a business, there is a lot more hustle, just because you're packing so much into that short time. And you, now that I know, packing a whole lot into a much shorter period of time. You've got the hustle down. What do you do to re-energize and to recoup?
So, it's kind of crazy to think. So I used to work out pretty often, and getting deep right now. My basement area was getting refinished at this whole time, and it literally just got done. My gym was down there. I haven't used it, but usually it's the gym, and I haven't gone to the gym or I haven't worked out in like 2 months, 2.5 months,
You've
and
been
that is
opening a business.
yeah, that has been I think that's probably one of the hardest things because I can feel myself getting a little fluffy, a little thicker, which I don't
Yeah.
mind. Got to keep warm, but it's really for me to keep me energized is I got to be fit.
Yeah.
I also coach my son's ice hockey game. Sorry, ice hockey team for the Beaverton over at the Beaverton Winterhawks as well. So
Mhm.
I'm a coach for 12U and 14U
Oh, I love
kids.
that. I'm a hockey fan. I'm a
Oh,
Wings fan.
love it. Hey, that's
Detroit.
cool. Yeah,
Although they
hey,
haven't done much in a long time,
yeah,
so but I'm
all
still a
good.
Wings fan.
It's just like chai. I just want people to love the sport. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like I just or just experience the sport. And once I
Yeah.
feel like it's one of those things. Once you experience it, when you're at the arena and you see the hits and the speed, it's pretty addictive.
Yeah, the Winterhawks, have been a staple here
Yes.
forever. I used to go to those games when I was just a youngster, way back in the olden days, all the time because they were affordable, and it was fun, and it was Portland, and all of it, right?
Yeah.
Um, I've been to a few NHL games,
Okay.
and that is madness.
Ooh,
Those
it's
are
so
some
much fun.
rabid fans
Yeah,
in Detroit.
totally.
So, yeah, I love that you coach hockey. So that's a good re-energizer for you. Let's gives you that brain break and
Totally. And anytime I'm with my family, because I haven't taken a day off, and I'm not used to taking days off. Like I just kind of always I want to be part. I'm really focused. One thing I'm really focused on the culture of the team, hiring the right people. Fly. I'm so grateful and blessed to have like Fly Chai have such like a good following initially. Like when I post a job, I have 120 people apply a day. So it's like it's kind of crazy. It's a wow factor from that standpoint. But just having the right people in place is very crucial for me as I
Mhm.
continue to kind of progress and figure out. And that was my wheelhouse in corporate America where I built teams, big teams all over the Pacific Northwest, all over the West Coast, all over the US, working for large hospital systems. So that's kind of been my big focus. And then one big piece that I'm excited to mention is my wife's going to be joining me starting
Mm.
next week. So this I think that's going to be the game changer from a standpoint where it's yin and yang. Like that's
Yeah.
her. I'm very energetic. I'm very passionate about what doing. And my wife Tori is very organized. She worked at a school and the secretary where my kids go to school, and she has that organization piece for my chaos. So having that piece is going to help me out a lot, and just knowing there's someone with me. Because the hardest part for me has been I want to do so much, and I want to do so much so fast, and I have this vision that's in my head, and I know it's grand, but I
Mhm.
want to execute it.
Yeah.
And the hardest part is to be able to take a step back and just take a breath and be on the journey. You know what I mean? And that's something that I've been more purposeful doing. Is literally, you'll see me out there out of the shop some days. I'll just be standing looking at the shop for like 10 minutes and being like, wow, this is pretty amazing. And then seeing the people, like what really makes me happy is really talking to people and getting their 2 cents, good, bad, indifferent.
Yeah.
And I'm averaging, I think, 3 people a day on converting them to chai, or if that's their first time having real chai. That to me is like, that's it. I mean, I'm good. I'm good. So I think that piece is like, that's why I can't like be away. Right. I mean, because
Yeah.
that's kind of the fuel that keeps me going when I get reviews, good, bad, and
Mhm.
different, it gives me feedback where someone says, oh, I'm used to this type of chai. And then they give me their 2 cents on why they like this chai, but it may not fill with fly chai, but I understand their perspective, right? And
Yeah.
it's kind of like everything in life, right? Everyone kind
Oh,
of has their thing.
absolutely.
So yeah, I
It
think
sounds like this is the season for you to just be all in,
yeah,
and our seasons change, as we evolve, as the business grows,
yeah,
things will naturally evolve. But it sounds to me like you've always been a hustler. You'll always be a hustler.
yeah, 100,
So,
yeah. I'll keep on moving.
yeah.
I want people to be
If he
happy.
stops moving, we all need to check
Yeah,
temperature and pulse.
yeah, yeah. And
And maybe see if there's somebody, emergency contact to notify.
I love it. Yeah, I'll give you Tori's number,
Right,
100%.
right.
She's gonna be the one that's gonna keep me calm. But the end game goal, the sense of purpose is just I want everyone to be happy. That
Yeah.
is literally at end of the day, I can tell you about values of chai and the wellness and the community piece, but really I just want everyone to be happy. And if I can do that by chai, give it to me. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. I love that. I love that so much. So, what do you hope that your kids or the next generation of entrepreneurs that encounter you learn from watching you build this from the ground up?
Yeah, that's pretty deep. I when it comes down to really understanding what I can give is everyone always talks about you got to be patient. It'll come to you. And I'll be the first one to say like I've been talking about starting my own business for 20 years, meaning a standpoint of a club, quick service burrito place, a pizza place,
Mhm.
a dance venue, or whatever it is. Figure something out that maybe not your passion, or it will move you. It's you find out what you don't want to do in life. And I think that's one thing that I really realized working through all these years, the past 30 years, uh, in my work life, or yeah, I think it's been like almost 30 years I've been working. Um, I started at a very young age. My dad was an entrepreneur. He owned his own clothing business, came to America with a pickle and a string, kind of saw that hustle. It came with me. I want my kids to see that. I don't mind putting them to work doing dishes if they're 10 years old, 11 years old, or doing certain things. But to point is find things that you want to do to find out what you don't want to do. And that really has to do with everything in life, whether it's relationships, whether
Mhm.
it's your jobs, whether it's anything. You find out. And then if it comes just like I said, my last piece is you got to think positive to be positive, and that's the way is you're the only person that can kind of push the positivity. If you're passionate about something, it'll just go. You'll feel it.
Yeah.
You'll feel it.
Yeah. You don't have to dwell like, we're all surrounded by negative things all the
Yeah.
time. Hiccups, roadblocks, attitudes. It's like, yeah, you can look at them, acknowledge them, but you don't have to live there.
You don't.
And if
Yeah.
you do, you're choosing to live there. Like you can choose to not live there. And I'm not saying put on the rose colored glasses and la, la, la through life. It's just you can choose, have your moment of, oh my gosh, if I have to hear from the Comcast people one more
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
but let it go and then redirect your focus
Yeah.
because what you put out is what you're going to get back. And I'm not even talking the hocus pocus little, vibey stuff about, you know, um, what is that? When you put it out in the universe, it'll come back
Oh,
to
the
you.
manifestation. Yeah.
Manifestation. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking if you walk through your day with a sour face and a poor attitude, everybody's going to come back at you with that
Totally.
same sour face and poor attitude. So, taking a moment to reset and then get back to what it is, whether it's your why, whether it's your goals. Sometimes we have to, go through the muck but then appreciate the sun that's shining or as it's raining. Oregon, everybody likes to complain about the weather in
Yeah.
Oregon, right?
I
Like,
know.
"Oh, it's been so rainy." It's like, yeah, but without that rain, we wouldn't have the green.
Green.
We wouldn't have the forests. We wouldn't have the high desert. We wouldn't have all these things if it wasn't for the rain. So look past that rain and focus on the things that bring joy.
Yeah.
And, I'm not saying don't acknowledge the hiccups. Look at them, face them down, put them on the shelf and
Totally.
then keep on trucking because it's if we don't do that it just pulls you down and
Always.
not a lot of great things happen
Yep.
from that lower level you
Yep.
know
Yep.
Fly Chai certainly wouldn't be here
Yeah.
if you
No.
lived in that
No.
lower level.
No, totally. And you nailed something that's really there is you kind of just be you. Like that's what I realize is, with Fly Chai, I wear a suit every day. I always always dress for success, all this kind of stuff. But I'm a comfortable guy. Like I want to be comfortable, right? So it's like I feel like just in life in general, just to be your authentic
Mm.
self on everything that you want to be. And if you truly want to, people, my goal is how many people can I impact in my lifetime is kind of the big focus. So that's kind of one thing I instill with my kids. I install with the culture of our team. Just, hey, if someone's having a rough day, it doesn't matter. Like, let's give them something. So make them happy. You know what I mean? Or, figure something out to make that experience memorable.
Yeah.
And that's the goal of Fly Chai. Like I mentioned, if I can give people chai or do something small or something that they can remember, that's really that's all I could ask for.
Well, let me tell you something. You are one memorable guy.
Thank you. I really
and,
appreciate
and
that.
and that's an amazing thing. I don't I've said this on other podcasts too. If I don't have anything good to say, as my grandma said, I don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
So if I'm telling you I think that you're memorable and I think that you're having a positive impact, I truly believe that. And I can't wait to see what the next year, 5 years, 10 years what that path looks like for you, Neil, and for Fly Chai. I'm a huge fan. I'm going to start fan clubs for all these people I have on my
I love
podcast.
that.
I'm going to be very busy with that. I'll need to start a donation cup because it doesn't make me any money.
Yeah, no, we gotta line you up. No, 100%.
I'll have
100%.
I'll have a what is it, a GoFundMe,
Yeah.
Patreon, right?
Yeah, Patreon. Yep.
Because I'm busy managing all these fan clubs. But I am truly a fan of yours. There's just so many reasons that I think it would take us a few hours to get into all the reasons that I'm a huge fan. I'm excited you're in Beaverton. I drove past that where you are currently located for 20 years or more.
Mhm.
We won't talk about my age, but it's been there a long time. And I've never seen so many people in there as I do now since you opened. And that's exciting. That's exciting for the community
Yep.
because when you have healthy business communities, the kind of residential community at large, my business is real estate. And I don't approach it from a standpoint of a lifer in real estate. Like
Mhm.
I've worked for corporate, I've sold huge marketing campaigns
Mhm.
for big, big, big people. I've done all kinds of things. And I chose real estate because I love the impact I have on the people. And I choose residential real estate and not commercial for a reason. I don't really work with investors unless it's a mom and pop, that just wants a couple of rentals. Because I love having that, at the end of the day, having that positive impact, whether it's helping them achieve that goal of putting a roof over their heads and
I
their
love
families'
that.
heads, or even in people in transition where they've had a loss and they've got a property they need to get rid of, for lack of a better word,
Mhm.
to unload so that they can move on to that next chapter. I love working with people and having that kind of a positive impact on people. So when you have businesses, say in Beaverton or in Hillsborough or Forest Grove or anywhere in the Pacific Northwest, when you have a healthy, thriving, exciting, and excited business community, you have a healthier community at large.
Mhm.
Your residential communities are healthier, your schools are healthier, your people are happier and healthier. I mean, it's such a ripple effect when you have people like you in the community sowing good seed into that community. There's no way you're not going to have a positive impact on the folks within. So I'm excited that you're here. And if you're listening to this and you're not, we need to talk because I'll throw down out back and then I'll take you and have some chai.
I love it, Dana. I love it.
I grew up in Banks. I'm a
Yeah,
farm girl at heart.
yeah.
I've lived here my whole life. So you haven't lived here your whole life. So we're getting toward about an hour into this, and I try to keep my podcast at about an hour. So um, we're going to wrap this up here, but I've got a question for you.
Mhm.
So, and if you want to know more about Fly Child, I'll share with you before we wrap up how you guys can find more out about Fly Chai and where you can find them in Beaverton. But so what is one thing from Chicago you wish you could teleport right now into the middle of Beaverton?
That's a really deep,
That can be
deep
a tough
question.
question.
That's super tough because there's so much out there, but there's so much that Beaverton has to offer that I like. I'm trying to think because
I mean, is there anything you're missing particularly that we just don't have yet?
um food wise or anything in general.
Anything. Anything.
I really can't. I'm
Oh,
trying to think.
that's amazing.
I can't think of the only thing I would say is I would want my family to be closer.
Oh,
That's it
okay.
because they all
That's
live they
that's a good
they
answer.
yeah they all live in Chicago. My mom isn't able to fly out, so she hasn't been able to even come to Fly Chai. I've always kind of just um worked with her vicariously through me and through pictures and whatnot, be able to share
Yeah.
that. But I'm just trying to think if there's anything I would say. I mean, I love I love this Midwest brand of food called Culver's, which is it has frozen yogurt. I'm sorry, custard. It's a big
I've
custard
heard
brand.
of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I just really enjoy their food. They make everything from scratch. Just one of my it's one of my comfort foods.
We need to
That I
get
love.
them out here. Eventually, I mean, we're finally getting in and out.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
We need Aldi. We need an
yeah.
Aldi.
All these are good.
I firmly believe we need an Aldi because
Yeah,
I see everybody that goes to Aldi and I have like I'm jealous.
yeah,
We need a
yeah,
Culver's. They need
yeah,
to open one up in Beaverton or somewhere right in this like
yeah.
between Reed's Crossing and 185th. Like I
Ooh,
think there's a
it
market
would
for it.
outstanding. Yeah, it's a family oriented place, and they make everything from scratch, and they're known for their butter burgers and cheese curds. So you kind of have
Oh,
a Midwest
yeah.
thing in there, but it's really good.
Oregon is the number one state people are moving to.
Really?
Yeah, in 2025. I mean, national headlines might try to tell you it's not, but
Yeah.
Oregon was the number one. And
Wow.
beyond that, Beaverton is the number two spot
Wow.
that people are moving to. So, hello, Culver, if you're listening. He's
Yeah,
probably
come
not, but
through.
maybe I'll tag him.
I love it. I love it.
Bring it out to the Pacific Northwest.
I love it.
We like our treats out here. We'll take it hiking with us. That's
Totally.
the whole vibe. Well, that's pretty awesome. I've really enjoyed getting to know you a little bit today. I know there's so much more underneath the surface, and I look forward. I'm a part of the Beaverton Area Chamber.
Yeah.
I'm on their board of directors. I'm on committees. I'm also a on the board for the Aloha Library Association. Community Library Association. I'd love to get you connected somehow out there with the
Yes.
kids.
Please.
So I'm sure you'll be hearing from me again soon.
Right.
Beyond me just coming in and purchasing all the yummies and all the deliciousness you have in your shop. But it's been such a privilege to get to know you a little bit today. And, you know, my podcast, we're always looking for the keys that play on words
I
to the
love it.
PNW. But today showed me that sometimes the key isn't just the place, it's also an energy. It's the grit to take a tradition, to make it your own, and then to hand it off to the community one cup at a time.
I love that.
Huge respect for the hustle and reminding us that the PNW doesn't just run on caffeine, that it runs on soul, the true soul. So you're officially a part of our map now.
I love
You
it.
can't get away from it, even if you want to. You're going to get a lot of pushback if you say, I don't know. So just know you're a part of that map now. And once you're there, the pin stays.
I
So
love it.
for those of you listening, don't just take my word for it. Go find the flavor for yourself, whether you catch the movement in person or you're brewing it at home. Make sure you're following Fly Chai at Drink Fly Chai on both Instagram and TikTok. You can find them at, what's the website, Neil?
Flychai.co.co.
Yeah, put it into your search engine or wherever you are. Fly Chai Beaverton. Worst case, they will come up. And, see for yourself exactly how they're keeping this region spicy. And if you're wanting to unlock the people and the stories that make the upper left feel like nowhere else on earth, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and come back for the next turn of the key. I'm Donna Musin. Stay fly, stay curious, and I'll see you at the next stop.